Hey everyone, thanks for coming back to my channel. Today I have a what's for dinner for you. So I made 3 meals this week. I made tacos on Tuesday, and then I made some teriyaki meatballs with broccoli and jasmine rice. And then I also made some chicken Alfredo with a homemade Alfredo sauce. So today is Taco Tuesday. I already browned my meat in the freezer, so I took that out. I'm just warming it up. Now I am adding taco seasoning, about 2 tablespoons, the Old El Paso brand, and 1/3 of a cup of water. Just mixing that in. I realized that it wasn't quite the consistency that I wanted, so I added a bit more taco seasoning. And now I'm just putting some aside for my youngest daughter's dinner plate. Just making my daughter a quesadilla with sour cream, ground beef, and Monterey Jack and cheddar cheese.
Think we lost all, but who will take the fall? Who will win it all? You know the cost, still you go through walls. Keep on acting small.
So I'm just cooking that on the stove. And you'll notice here that I had some issues with my pan. Everything kept sticking, and I definitely threw that pan in the garbage after it was all said and done. So you're going to see me struggle just about now. And I greased that pan very well, but it did not make a difference.
Even if you got something left to lose, even if there is something left for you to prove, I got bad taste of hanging around you. Bad. I'm so sorry about the bitter end.
So for the adults' plates, we just have some sour cream on the bottom with some ground beef, queso, salsa, cheese, lettuce, tomato, and a little bit of taco sauce. So I had one, and my husband had 2 of them.
Sorry if I misbehave. In the middle we got tangled up, but in the aftermath of us, I don't regret that much. I don't regret that. Sunny side up, try to keep it cool, bending all the rules, bending all the rules. It gets colder, but I hate being cool. I can't be cruel to you. Even if you got something left to lose, even if there is something left for you to prove, I got bad taste of hanging around you. Bad. I'm so sorry about the bitter end. I'm so sorry if I misbehave. In the middle we got tangled up, but in the aftermath of us, I
And that was it for Taco Tuesday.
don't regret that much. I don't regret.
Hey everyone, I'm going to be making teriyaki meatballs today. So I'm going to show you how I make my teriyaki sauce. 1 cup of water, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, you want to make sure that it's well incorporated, there's no lumps. Okay, next I'm going to add 1/4 of a cup of packed brown sugar, quarter cup of, this is light soy sauce, so it's less, 30% less sodium. which we prefer. So that's a 1/4 cup of soy sauce. And I'm not cooking this on the stovetop. I'm going to be mixing it in with the meatballs, putting it in the slow cooker, and let it cook on low for about 4 hours. Okay, so it did ask for fresh garlic, but I don't have any right now. Mine went bad, so I'm just using the jarred kind that you put in the fridge. So I'm using a heaping tablespoon of that. Sorry if you could see my cabinet there. Didn't realize that was showing. It did ask for fresh ginger, but I don't usually keep that on hand, and I don't mind the ground kind. About 3/4 of a teaspoon. Okay, and then we need 1 tablespoon of honey. Wouldn't be my kitchen if I didn't make a mess. Of course I have white countertops. It's that honey at the bottom gets stuck. Now in a couple of the recipes I saw online, someone said to, well, a couple of them said to add like a dash of rice vinegar. So I'm going to do that because it makes it just a bit acidic. Cuts out a bit of the sweetness. Gonna add a touch of garlic powder as well, because we like things extra garlicky here. And I'm gonna add a little bit of salt since I'm using low sodium soy sauce. Okay, so the sauce is all made. I'm going to cover it, put it in the fridge, and in about an hour, when I put the meatballs on, it's ready to go. So I have my slow cooker here. I'm going to get my meatballs from the freezer. And I'm also going to get cooking spray. Spray it. Whisk it a little bit. Still feel that honey at the bottom. There we go. So I'm going to put a little bit of the sauce at the bottom so that they don't get stuck. That should be good. So I know these look different here in Canada. I haven't really been able to find these the last little while. I should have stocked up. So anyway, they're the great value. I like the Italian style beef meatballs. I mean, to be honest, that's all I could really find. But I really like these because they kind of give it like a bit of a Parmesan kind of herb flavor. And I think that goes really well with the teriyaki. I mean, the regular ones are probably good too, but this is all I had on hand. So I have about half of a bag. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure they're in an even layer. Then we're gonna add our sauce. So it's gonna be pretty saucy, but I like that personally. I know that my husband and my kids like it too. So just make sure that they're covered, they're submerged in the sauce. And it's going to thicken over time. And if around the 3-hour mark, if the sauce isn't quite thick enough, then I'm going to put it on high for the last hour, and that'll thicken it right up. Turn it on low. I'm going to set a timer on my oven. set it for 3 hours. I'll take a look, see if I need to increase the temperature. And with this, we're going to be having some jasmine rice as well as some air fryer broccoli. So for the last meal of the week, I made chicken Alfredo with whole wheat pasta. So I'm just seasoning my chicken breast with some salt and pepper, basil, Italian seasoning, and parsley. So I'm covering both sides with the seasoning, and then I'll be baking that in the oven, 400 degrees for about 20-25 minutes. I do check to make sure my chicken is fully cooked, so I do check it with a thermometer. While that was cooking, I made my Alfredo sauce. So I used about 2 tablespoons of butter, and then I used 2 tablespoons of flour. You can see here it looks a little clumpy, but I promise you at the end it works out. With the homemade butter, I found is a little bit harder to emulsify and to get a creamy consistency. It took a little bit more elbow grease to get that done. So here I'm just adding a little bit of milk slowly just to get it incorporated and so I don't get any lumps. So see me just kind of go through that. And I also added some garlic, about a tablespoon of garlic in there as well. So all in all, I believe I used about 2 cups of 2% milk. So I'm just mixing that really well until it gets nice and thick. So when I have it to the consistency that I want, I do add some Parmesan cheese. I didn't measure this, so I probably use about 1/3 cup. So I'm adding salt and pepper, and I'm adding a little bit of garlic powder, just to make it a little bit extra garlicky. And then I'm also adding in some parsley. And a trick I had learned is to add a little bit of lemon juice to your sauce. It adds just a little bit of acidity and it really brings out the flavor. I notice if I don't add it in, so it's a really good trick. Now I'm going to boil my noodles, which are the Great Value whole wheat spaghetti, which is our favorite. So once that's cooked, I drained it, cut up my chicken, added it to the sauce, and there you have it. So that was Thursday's meal. And then Friday, because we had a bit of a later night, because we couldn't get my daughter to sleep very easily that night, we just ended up getting Subway. So that's the end of the video. That was the 3 meals we had this week. I really hope you enjoyed my video. Please consider subscribing and please comment and like on the video as well. And I will see you in my next one. Take care. Bye.
For watching our video.